Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Nightcap for April 29th, 2022. Hope you got a little taste of what's on the menu tonight. Tonight is Night of the Fursona 2, Even VORE. You get it? Even VORE?
Even VORE. I see what you did there. And what's on the menu, dude? That was something, man. That was something.
I got to take more time with those things because I do those in like 10 minutes. Like, you know, usually right before I'm starting the show, I'm like, oh shit, I should make an opening.
Right.
Yeah. But like, so we touched on this. If people don't know, you can go to the Odyssey channel. You can check out our previous episode, Night of the Fursona, before the sequel. And we found out about something. We kind of stumbled onto something that night. We stumbled on something called VORE.
Yes.
Furry VORE. Paul did this, by the way. This is his fault.
Yeah.
So we refrained that night. We decided, like, no, we came here to watch a fucking documentary about furries. We're not going to get sidetracked with VORE for 4 hours. So why not just do a whole night about it, you know? Yeah, why not just do a whole night celebrating this art form, celebrating the degenerates that like to engage with it, like to make it, like to masturbate to it, do whatever they're going to do. I mean, these are like salt of the earth furry people.
Right, and like everything else we discovered on the internet, it's another community. So, and that's what we do on Nightcap. We explore communities. So we're like tourists, man. We're like tourists.
We kind of are tourists.
Galaxy shit, man. We're just kind of going, thinking we have our head on our shoulders, knowing what we know, and just continuously getting amazed by what we find, man.
I was, like when we saw that VORE video, that first VORE video, was that only last week? It was legit shocking. I was legit shocked.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I feel like I knew somewhere in the back of my mind that existed, but watching it was something else.
Yeah, no, because I just saw and it was going to be like furry centric and whatnot, and then I, coincidentally stumbled upon it, and I got like the first 10, 20 seconds. I'm like, this is weird. Okay, I got to show Sean this so that way we can have a reaction to it, because per Nightcap ways, hot reacts only.
Only, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just see going doing the gullet and everything. Like, what is going on?
So people might be confused. Maybe some people missed that episode or haven't had a chance to catch up. So let's before we get into the community stuff, because we're gonna watch some some testimonials, some interviews. I found one where a guy did a kind of a mini doc, a little bit where he interviewed the people from the community. So we will let's check out a VORE video.
Nice.
This is called Lizard Woman VORE.
Lizard Woman, okay.
Yeah, this thing has almost 60,000 views, by the way. And also just a big shout out to everybody that's already here. What's up, Hagbird? People Rooster, Brissinger, and whoever else may happen to be lurking. But let's get started. See I haven't watched this, so we'll see. It's gonna be exciting. Oh, right off to a good start. I mean, if I want to see if I want to see something like this, I'm hoping that she's got milkers. I'm hoping she's bringing something.
You're hooked. You're hooked right off the get go.
Right off the bat, I'm in. I'm here for it.
It's like Charmander.
It's never not shocking. It's never not shocking. It's never not shocking. Like I just thought, like, what the fuck? I knew it was coming, but I was still surprised. That was terrifying. Hold on, that's some terrifying shit. That guy just literally just popped up from the bottom. What the fuck? That's some nightmare shit. Look at him. Like, look at his eyes. He's like, oh, you caught me.
Oh shit. Okay.
He's like, oh shit. Oh yeah, we're doing this. I don't care if you're awake.
Oh man. Whoa.
Oh, don't even try. Don't even bother. Also, I would like to point out that this is a lizard woman.
Yeah.
This is a lizard woman, okay? So this is double hot. Hey, Trami showed up. What's up, Trami? Hey, buddy. The People's Rooster here over on YouTube says, wait, this is non-consensual VORE? Afraid so, my friend. We should report this video. Trami says, finally, I knew we'd end up watching porn on Nightcap sooner or later. Touche.
Whoa. I just feel like that's not the most tactical. Oh shit.
Oh, whoa.
Go back. You know what? Yeah. You know where I want to go back. Yeah, we go.
Yeah.
Screenshot the money shot.
That's my new background, boys. It's the new background.
Oh my god. Yeah, the only thing you could top that is if a furry came up and just started ramming it from the back, the red rocket. Oh man. Yeah, but we're just not going to talk. We're just going to not talk about the fact that this like low budget like Charmander from Pokemon just eating this bitch at night. So this is crazy. Yeah. Do we have any like hidden things in the room there? Like now playing, we got a movie poster back there. Like this, like all these hidden gems in this. Like,
I don't think we can. I'm trying to find it. Let's see. Is there a good shot of the movie poster? No, not really. Damn. It just says now playing. We're looking for the secret Illuminati messages.
There's a cannon.
A cannon?
Yeah. We'll keep going. We'll go back.
All right. Well, let's enjoy this again.
This is not, yeah.
Trummy says, quote unquote, she tastes like ass. Hagbert says Charmander used VORE. It was effective. What the fuck?
Oh, you know what's happening.
Oh!
Whoa.
And now, as we learned from the last video we watched, last time we watched VORE, there's only one way out.
Through the digestive tract.
This lady's got a long journey ahead of her.
But if you notice to the right there, we got that cannon there. Got that cannon.
That cannon. So is this part of also the VORE kink, is like the distress? Like the fact that somebody's being eaten against their will? Like, is this also a thing?
Well, like with the dominatrix, BDSM, like that kind of shit, there is this power element, right? To consume someone.
That's true.
I'm going to take you in your entirety, and then I'm just going to like watch you slowly digest in me as I'm consuming you because I have power over you. So it's like there's definitely I definitely get that out of that, but just like anything else, like who's the power top, who's the power bottom, who gets
I had read somewhere, I don't know if it was like a screen cap of like somebody on Reddit or something, but they described one of the reasons they liked VORE is because they didn't like sex, but they had the desire to be inside someone and close to them. And they thought this fulfilled that role. You know what I mean?
Getting in those guts a whole new level.
Oh yeah, right in them, literally in them. Tarami says domination is definitely part of it. Yeah, I would have to imagine, like, or depending on which side of this equation you view yourself as. I'm sure there's some furry people that view themselves as the eaters.
Yeah,
I guess. Is that what we call them? Is that the technical term? Maybe we'll find out tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna hear straight from the furries' mouths tonight.
That's like a party trick. But what about the bra though? You're not going to spit that up?
This was a commissioned animation.
Oh.
This was a commissioned animation. So let's hold on. Let's see. Sophia Miller. I cannot be. This does not look like a real person. Angel VORE. Some of these are too long. Okay, there's one more. We'll do one more before we get into these interviews. Okay. I just want to make sure that we are all on the same page. Like, we all know what VORE is. You know, we want to know. The people want to know. This is another lizard woman. Snake Woman, Swallow Marie, and Hanoka.
Did we get the warning in the last video?
Yeah, the last one did have the warning. So, you know, hey, props, props. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the trigger warning, my friend. Mm-hmm. Sophie, if that is your real name. Trami says, also, I'm glad we have Paul to torture. Yeah, it's fun showing Paul this weird shit. Let me see here. The People's Rooster says the internet must be banned. Yes, the internet was a mistake.
Elon Musk, cancel the internet.
I got to tell you, yeah, can you buy the internet, Elon Musk, please? Could you just buy it outright? Mm-hmm. This stuff does become a little bit more concerning, I think, when you have kids. That's when it starts becoming, you're like, because, if you were younger and you didn't have kids, you're like, whatever, that's weird, but like, whatever, who cares? Now, all I think about is like, oh, kids just stumbling on this shit.
Yeah, because it's on YouTube. You just
developing weird proclivities and
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh God.
The fuck?
It's tail action here. Oh my God.
Oh, whoa. So they're going to make the sister watch?
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're sisters. Let's just assume. You're going to make her watch? This has taken a very dark turn.
She's not putting much of a fight there.
You think she wants it? Is that what she secretly wants it?
I think if you're not squirming, then you're just, you're primed for the VORE.
Maybe. That's what I always say. That's what my dad said. That's what my grandfather said. And goddamn it, that's what I say. Tarami says, speaking of kids, I think there's a bit of a pregnancy fetishism involved. That's definitely possible.
Ooh, yeah. Good call.
And not to be like weird, but like, or to bring this up to be like negative. Like, maybe it's because a lot of the people in these communities are gay. They want to have that sensation of having a person inside of them. Well, in a different kind of way. Yeah, Hagbert says, I want Frog Time Goliath to come eat all of them in a non-sexual way.
Every day I'm getting better and better and working towards special effects. One of these days we'll have like a fully produced, highly edited video, and I'll try to make that happen and make it look cool, man.
Make it look cool. Trami says, stepsister, That's true. Thank you for the correction.
Like, this is a micro category within like Pornhub, right? Like, you go down.
I bet if we went on Pornhub, dude, I bet if we went on Pornhub, there's probably like more explicit versions of this stuff. Ooh. Like, just women with topless and stuff like that. Probably lots of fun. A lot of breasts, a lot of exposed breast meat.
Look at that. Look at those milkers. Look at it. That's not how.
It's a wonder. It's a wonder. This, honestly, I was grossed out by these snake people, but you know what? That's impressive. You get those milkers down like that, one gulp.
Yeah.
Come on now. And Hagbert says, thanks, Pablo. He says, thank you for the effort.
We're going to do the tongue trick. Oh, another head first. You see, if you're not fighting, you're a prime foreign.
Yeah, like scream, do something. Now, this is an earlier animation, so maybe Sophie here.
This wasn't a commission animation. Okay, that's what this was.
Maybe, but Sophie maybe had honed her skills a little bit by the time she gets to the one we watched, because we saw discomfort, we saw some muffled, kind of struggling noises, right?
And the tongue trick, and we saw the tongue trick.
Yeah. Trauma says 1,900 hits for VORE on Pornhub. There you go.
Jeez.
Hagbard says this Dreamscape sequel sucks.
Oh, there we go.
Get it all down now. Leave nothing to waste.
Yep. Well, you already had your bitch. Did the green one get another one?
No, she hadn't. She hadn't finished it. She hadn't finished. She was waiting. It's rude. It would be rude otherwise.
Gotcha.
This is
now we're going to
admire.
Code. Yeah, now we're going to admire each other's food, Billy.
I mean,
how weird is it? I mean, we did this last holiday after like $100 worth of sushi, pizza,
honestly,
and everything.
Yeah,
we're just like,
you kind of did.
Oh, you look beautiful. I don't think I caressed you like that, cares like that, but hey.
But we were all impressed with each other's food degeneracy.
We were very impressed.
Yeah, we were very drunk and high, and we ate a lot of food. Huh?
That okay?
You like a snake lady suit now? Get down there! Come on now! What are you doing, you rascal?
Oh man!
God, what the fuck?
Ooh.
Well, this was a commissioned animation. Check description for info about commissions and updates. I wonder how much a commission costs.
So maybe this is something with enough lemons. We can commit a Zoobox 4. A Zoobox 4 video.
Yeah, the Zoobox 4 videos. We could get into this business, this industry here. The comment here says a snake woman transformation okay, or do you best okay? So they're saying, like, needs a little work. Keep at it, kid. Don't worry. Keep at it. Live your dreams. Are we
going to share some Zoobox love?
Some Zoobox love? Oh, you want me to?
Zoobox love, yeah. Say Hagbard comes up with the comment in the D Live chat, and then we put that in the YouTube chat.
Okay. So Hagbard, if you want to write a comment to Sophie, Sophia. Trauma says, now I had an idea for a VORE video where a girl is blowing a guy, then suddenly slurps him up like a noodle. There we go. Actually, you know what? That's going to be the comment. See, maybe we could get a commission.
Yeah, and then how much does that cost?
Yeah. How much for something like that? Anyways, now we're gonna get a fucking strike on the channel. We're like, oh, look, we're harassing the snake women.
No, this is a legitimate inquiry.
A legitimate inquiry, yeah. That's what I would say, of course. Not only would I say it, Paul,
I spent money on dumb shit. I spent a lot of money on dumb shit. Think about the cameos, right? Like, yes, I will do this. I have a history. I have a precedent for blowing money on stupid shit in the name of Zoobox.
That's true. You do. Out
so
of
that
all,
is a legitimate inquiry.
So
Rami's idea, how much it's going to cost, and then we'll see. It also depends how much.
Cool. What if it's reasonable? What if it's like a reasonable price?
If she's like $200, then I'll do this. I'll be like,
oh, dude, you would go 200? Woo, dude, I was trying to help you out. I said 60.
I'd go $200. So
I go 200.
But no, we'd have to put like a whole bunch of like Zoobox shit in the background because
that's true.
I'd also pay for the intel to find out like what the symbolism of the canon is, what that's all about. Who's Joan Weston? Like these are answers I want to know. So I'll do that. We're diving into a community here, and you want to be a part of it. And part of that is just embracing. We're going to patron, some people in the community. We're really just
Zoobox.
fostering.
I mean, Zoobox catches a bad rap. A lot of people, we talk about antinatalists, we talk about zoos, we talk about furries. People think we're attacking them. Like, no. Listen, Listen,
We
you've provided us with joy in our lives. Like, how could we ever really hate you? You know what I mean?
we bought a star. Zoobox has sponsored a star. Okay, like
Yeah.
we
We literally own a
we
star
support shit.
that in Mendham is not allowed to steal energy from.
Mm-hmm.
Travi says, "I'll contribute to that. Let me know." All right. Well, if we get an answer, dude, we could probably reach out to somebody and get something made. So,
Yeah.
actually might be a good promo for Z-Box. All right. So now we're gonna watch VORE, the documentary, which I believe is like a series of interviews with people that are into VORE. It's about a 30-minute little doc. And then I have some isolated interviews. So we don't know. I don't know how long the show. This might be a shorter show tonight. We're not sure 100%. We'll see how it goes. Because I don't know how redundant some of the stuff is going to end up being after watching this. But we'll soldier on. Already, this guy's dressed all in black. He's a badass. He's a fucking badass. Okay.
VORE. One of life's biggest mysteries. What is it? Where did it come from?
Look at those chickens.
Look at
those chickens whole.
Is there going to be like a shot of an egg coming out of a chicken's ass or something like VORE?
Ass the mouth, chicken.
Why do people want to be eaten? Can horses be into VORE?
No, they cannot.
It's already giving me that. It's already giving me those animal passion vibes, man.
If there is a God, he would not allow it. Okay.
What about dogs?
What about
as I look around this field?
What about people dressed as dogs? Traumi says a chicken laying an egg played back in reverse. Oh, mama.
And take in this view. There are people all over the world fantasizing about being eaten and swallowed by a werewolf or some shit. There are so many questions, but so few answers. I've made fun of VORE in the past, but I've done it without really knowing the people behind it. Was I unfair to them? Maybe I should hear them out. So I decided to sit down with some people who are into...
See, this is what I would like Zoobox at some point to do something like this with the people that we talk about,
Yeah.
Brissinger's in the chat. What's up, Brissinger? He says, Consentua. Bird VORE is underrated, he says. You would know.
There's always hierarchies,
VORE,
right, within these internet communities.
And an artist who has drawn VORE for clients in the past to get their perspectives on this particular interest. Maybe we will learn something together.
Maybe you remember where you put the proactive kid.
Right, in the first 90 seconds, we have like 3 shots of Takeoff's glasses like it's fucking CSI Miami. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is good stuff already. Travis says, oh, God, I'm laughing my fucking ass off. Yeah, no, I think this might be entertaining. Like, it feels like it's gonna ride that line between being sincere and also
to the context, goofy. Just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So go ahead and introduce yourself. Who are you?
I'm Lucas. I'm a 21-year-old furry who works a part-time job and another part-time job.
Very nice. Well, thank you for joining me here today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Iris. I'm 19 and I'm into drawing and geography.
Very nice. So if you could go ahead and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Fenny and I'm with Frozen Over Studios and I'm an artist for a living. And
Brissinger says bald eagle VORE is patriotic.
I've been commissioned to do VORE pieces for customers. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome for having you. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm doing quite well, thanks. And yourself?
I'm just fantastic. I'm having a lovely day. I'm very pink and blue right now.
Fantastic.
Yes. And you're also into VORE, is that correct?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
You're into VORE, right?
Absolutely.
I don't, I gotta say a little critique here to this guy. I really don't like the way he's put this together now. Like, I like that opening. I was with him. I was on board. I was like, this is a little silly. I like that he's got a little bit of a sense of humor.
Right.
With this editing style, and then also introducing everybody at the same time like this, when they're clearly not all talking to each other.
Mm-hmm. Well, a little muddled, but so far I think we're following along.
Trami says, "Holy shit, this host! He hates him. He fucking hates him." Sorry, Trami.
Why?
Very, very broad question. It's really hard to say why.
Very broad question.
Is it I think it's a very specific question.
It's pretty.
Why do you like viewing images of entities consuming other entities? Particularly animals.
Yeah. Where did it start for you? Like, let's think back. And the scary thing about this is like 19, 21-year-olds.
I got a feeling the one that didn't identify their age is much older.
Like a hot 47 or something. Just likes to. It keeps them young. It keeps them young.
Like,
she's like work at like the hemp shop downtown. She's down at the hemp shop downtown talking about all like alternative ways to get high, and then talking to everyone that thinks she's cool, like is like 17 and 19.
And then you go over her house because she thinks she's gonna smoke you up, and then she ends up showing you VORE. You're like, shit, can I leave? I can't leave.
There's only one way to leave, Sean. There's only one way to leave.
That's out the back door.
Around 14 or 13, I started to like get into VORE because I didn't know like what it was, and I would do like VORE plays with people. So I guess that's how it started.
I started out personally thinking, ooh, artists draw really, really nice teeth on furries, on furry cats and furry dogs, and I just really liked the teeth. It was like eye candy, right? And then you start to see some of these VORE fetish arts popping around Twitter or DeviantArt and places like that as you're growing up as a young, influenceable teenager.
Yep, I can attest to that.
Right? And
right. Yeah, I don't. So young and impressionable that you're doing VORE play when you're 13 or 14 with strangers on the internet. That's wonderful. Wonderful to hear. That's what I'm telling you. As a parent, this kind of makes you panic. It makes you fucking freak out a little bit. Hagrid says, quote unquote, "So what happened to you that made you retarded?" Brissinger says, "I feel like I'm the meal in this editing style." And then backdoor VORE. Trami says, quote unquote, "I guess in a way I've always known that I am."
And I didn't mind it at first, and then I would look into it a little more. At first, obviously, I was one of the people making fun of it, like lol VORE, but I never really minded it. It wasn't until...
See, this is the danger of NIGHTCAP, okay? They're just describing it right now. They're like, oh, yeah, we found this thing. We were making fun of it. It was funny. And then something dark awakens inside of you.
And you're like, I can't stop. I can't stop.
Show me some more of that beautiful VORE footage, please.
And to blow in all my like checking on getting more commissioned VORE art. Because I'm hooked. Because I'll be hooked.
I mean, some people like to, get girls to send them dirty socks. Other people
I'm just going to buy exclusively VORE NFTs. That way, it's an investment on top of getting my rocks off. Yeah,
that's true.
That's
smart play. That's a smart play. Yeah, I like that. It's the businessman angle.
I started to think about the teeth thing more, just how obsessed I was with drawing and watching, teeth be drawn and animated and just jaws and maws in general, that I thought, could I be into something like that? I would look into that kind of media more, and I thought, this isn't actually that bad. This is actually kind of a cozy place to be, a cozy community to be in. It's I'm not into like hard VORE, like being digested or anything. I'm more into soft VORE, like being inside of a mouth or inside of a stomach, something.
I like the delineation. No, I'm not like those.
There's hardcore VORE, and then
hardcore VORE by this person's description is being digested.
Yeah. So like the first two primers at the beginning of NIGHTCAP tonight, that's hardcore.
So this person here, they would want like a slow experience. They want to like sit there in the mouth for a little while, roll around on the tongue, get swallowed, get into the stomach, maybe swim around in the stomach juices a little bit. Yeah, they like to really savor the experience. They don't want to just be eaten, digested, and shit out.
Right.
That's not their bag. Okay.
like that, not being killed and turned into feces.
So teeth, that's what got you into VORE, huh?
That was the gateway, yeah. Teeth. They just look really, really good.
So I want to say maybe 2015 or 2016, I went to the dentist for the first time in 5 years, and I had been drinking Mountain Dew Code Red all the time, you know? And so they told me, they were like, oh, you have 11 cavities in your mouth at one time. You should stop drinking soda. And I was like, okay. I switched to diet soda, and I have not had any cavities since. You know, I had 11 cavities in my mouth at one time. Does that turn you on?
Cavities, I would.
This guy, I'm turning on him. I'm slowly turning on him.
The fuck?
Tarami says, yeah, I love how people always need someone to deride. I'm just a little weird. Those people are the real weirdos.
They're the weird.
Yeah, which you always find in all of these communities.
Mm.
There's like the people that aren't as deep as the others. They're just like, well, you know, I think some people take it too far, you know?
Yeah.
I'm here to just enjoy it.
Depending on how many videos you found up, it's only a matter of time before they start they start dissecting their community even more than they are now. So they already segment now between hardcore and it's like softcore, right? So it's a matter of time before we talk to more people in this community where they start get even more of a minority.
Getting more like minutia specific, fractionalized to the point where it's only like one person that likes this thing. Like they get down to the nitty gritty.
Yep.
It's also, this is a common theme I find in people that are very into animation when they're young. You know, I'm actually a big fan of a lot of animation. But the people that are actually draw the stuff always tend to be a little odd. Yeah. Always tend to be a little weird.
Would have to say no. That would freak me out because I don't like little holes.
But cavities, they give you another orifice for VORE, or another vorifice, if you will, because like you can crawl into a cavity and be cavity vored, right?
Maybe, but I think that would hurt the host.
It probably would hurt. I mean, I think all of it would hurt, but
unless they're into that, then it's like, you know, to each their own. Somebody out there is into cavities.
That's also probably one of the appeal, like what Tarami and we're all saying at the beginning. You know, it's about domination, it's about this and that, but like being stretched out, right? I'm sure that's a sensation itself. Obviously, it's not real, right? But I mean, that's part
but we know that real people like to do that for real,
right?
Like, you know, we watched some videos about feeders, which I think that's probably another time we're gonna have to do just a whole night of feederisms.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. But like, yeah, so there are people that literally will do that. These people are just looky-loos. They're cowards. They're cowards. They're cowards. You guys got to get off of YouTube. Stop jerking off. Go fill your stomach with oatmeal or whatever. Hagbert says, I can't grok what is I can't get what is sexual about this. Is this what autism feels like? I think so. I think that's definitely part of it.
If it exists.
But you know, I know I just started and stopped, but I think part of it's also like, and we've talked about before, especially when we talked to the last furry episode, it's young autistic people that find a community. They find a community, and that's very welcoming. And as long as you are affirming of whatever subcategory of interest, then you're kind of showered with attention, like positive attention. And that's something maybe that is hard to find in their daily lives. So they gravitate towards it, and then it has them investing and reinvesting in the behavior and in the communities. That seems like that's the pattern. Trauma says, what is with this host? Is he taking the piss? Is he just weird? I can't tell. I think he's trying to be funny. He's trying to be weird. He's trying to, I don't know, like acknowledge the weirdness of what they're talking about by making kind of jokes.
Trying to level too.
Yeah. This bisexual lighting.
Someone into it, I can tell you that much. Tell me about VORE. When did you first learn what VORE was?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. I actually first learned about VORE when I started taking commissions on Fur Affinity. A lot of the people that were ordering my artwork, just having started out, not being very good at the time, a lot of them wanted really fetishy stuff. When they placed those orders for the VORE commissions, I kind of developed a mindset of not wanting to judge people for their fetishes as long as it wasn't too far outside of my personal comfort zone. And I went along with it. And over time, I got to know some of the people that were buying artwork from me.
Stop. It's got to be like one of the requests we make. All right, yeah, we want very specific Zoobox 4. We want to eat whole babies. live baby.
Live.
So just
Live
like everything.
babies. We would like
Like,
them to
what
be
is
crying.
this comfort zone? What is this comfort zone? Because we saw with like the lizard people, right? They're making one sister watch the other one get aired, which we assume to be Sister Ray. That like, well, what is out like with this person? Like, I wonder what is out of that comfort zone.
I don't think anything would really be. It would have to be something probably like violent or like really truly debaucherous. Maybe eating babies. That could be a threshold. That could be a line. But I feel like that they would allow themselves to just kind of get into whatever somebody commissioned. Because they said, like, I thought it was weird, but then I started, doing it, and I started hanging out with the community, and I thought it really cool, and then I started liking it. Oh, no way. No way. Bristlinger says, okay, so how close are we to cannibalism here? Actually, closer than you think. Vorophilia is what they call it when you actually want to eat another person as well. Army Hammer. Remember the actor Army Hammer? He got kind of in trouble for sending text to a woman that wasn't his wife about eating her alive and barbecuing her flesh.
That's good stuff.
So they said, like, oh, well, that's like vorophilia. Hagbert says, eating babies off a conveyor belt a la Homer Simpson in hell. Oh, there you go. I like that. I like that. Fill them right up. You're going to need a lot of babies to fill that gullet. Going to fill that gut.
I started asking them questions about why they enjoy what they enjoy about the artwork that they buy from me and what I could do to make it better. Through getting to know some of these people that like this kind of artwork, they seem to have a really wide range of reasons for enjoying it. For some, it's a comfort thing. They enjoy.
I love how they just like overcomplicate this. It's a very diverse community, and they all like this for different, very specific reasons. Some people just like to be comforted by it. Oh yeah, sure.
The intimacy of being that kind of close with somebody. And for others, it's literally just fat material. And it's interesting to see where people fall in that spectrum when buying the artwork. It's taken me quite a bit of time to understand where that comes from, if that makes sense.
That's really interesting. It's an interesting perspective to have, because you're not into VORE yourself, are you?
No, I'm not. It's not a fetish of mine, and that was part of what was confusing to me about it for the longest time, because it was one of those things that started to become more and more frequent in my line of work. While I'm not into it myself, being able to understand what makes it appealing to somebody else makes my artwork in turn more appealing. It just was prudent to get to know what makes these folks tick, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's something that you got to do as an artist. You have to kind of almost put yourself in the client's shoes and understand their perspective.
What's my motivation? What's my motivation? What's my direction?
Yeah.
Let me execute. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we got it, buddy. Just like this rapid like close ins, close outs, man.
I don't like
really irking me.
Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna lie.
So that you can, fulfill what they're asking for. It's very interesting stuff for sure.
And a lot of them focus on very specific aspects of the subject as a whole. For some, it's the sensational aspect of it, the tactile, the encompassing, like what you would get from a weighted blanket in therapy, if that is a way of comparing it. It's a psychological, in the womb kind of comfort feeling. And for others who lean,
come on.
No.
Come on.
That is a sensation. That is a sensation. I don't know, man.
It's just this is the kind of thing you hear with like people that are into like adult baby stuff. And they're like, "Oh, I just like to be reconnected with my being a child." Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I don't buy that totally. Right, I'm sorry, right. I don't. Prophet's here. He says no notification, none. I'm sorry, Prophet. I don't know what's going on. People are always trying to stop Zoobox. I don't know what's going on. It's not fucking cool.
Lean more toward the predatory side of things, who like to assert that control and that power over other individuals, may do it as an escape in order to circumvent some feelings of lacking control in their own lives, for instance.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's there's two sides to it. It's very interesting. How did you first discover what VORE is?
Well, there's two sides to it. There are what people tell you, and then there is what it actually is. Like, I don't feel like people that are into VORE are very introspective.
Right.
They may not have really interrogated their own feelings or behaviors or why these things developed in them. Like they'll be able to describe their experience. Like, well, I was 13 or 14. I was on Tumblr, and people were sharing pictures of VORE pictures, and then before I know it, I'm cranking it.
Yeah.
I was a DeviantArt user. I'm not anymore.
It always starts on DeviantArt.
Yeah, that's how most of my friends also discovered their fetishes. I was just scrolling through and I forgot what it's called. There was like VORE.
So is DeviantArt like a site or something?
Yeah, it's a site, and people have DeviantArt. I mean, it runs the gamut from like kind of just normal stuff to very edgy, sexually charged things. But there, they kind of just say it right there. It's just like, yeah, that's where all my friends found their fetishes.
Right.
Found their fetishes.
Yeah.
Paul, how did you find your fetish?
Mostly shit that you gave me. I had more restrictions growing up. So
that's true. That's true.
The first time I saw titties were on like Pogs. So yeah, well, I know I just hated myself, but
I was gonna say,
Pogs, milk caps. Yeah, that's when I saw titties.
That's where I saw boobs. I have these Hustler branded Pogs. People don't even probably know what fucking Hustler is.
I know. Let's move on.
One character, and that's how I really discovered it. I can't remember like a lot because it was from like years ago. It was Yakiai Togami from Danganronpa in Tokufukawa.
Damn, very nice. Danganronpa. How old were you when you discovered VORE?
Oh, maybe I was about 13.
Yep, that's how old we all are when we discover the stuff that we're into.
Pretty much.
What was your first reaction when you saw it for the first time?
Ah, weird. Why? What is this?
And then it sort of grew on you over time?
Yeah, it was a surprise to me.
The first time that you were asked to draw a VORE piece, was your reaction, VORE, my goodness? That would be my reaction myself. What was your first reaction?
No.
It's so bad.
I mean, he's trying. He's trying. I can't. It's hard to come down on a young man just trying to keep. Just trying to make something. I feel like if you had put me here, I could do the same dialogue and it would come off better. It would just be better. Trami says, "Hey, I'm a porn boomer just like you." Well, hell yeah, buddy.
Nice,
gotta love
man.
those. Gotta love that shit. Prophet
Cheers,
says,
buddy.
"Keep kids off the internet. Raise them,
Amish.
raise them Amish. Save their genitals." He's not that wrong. He's not lying.
First time that ever happened to you?
I just kind of looked at the reference material and their description for what they wanted, and I was like, this is a thing that people do this. And it very much confused me at first, but I'm like, you know what? If you're paying, I'm not gonna, deny what you want me to draw. It didn't seem too out of sorts or outside of my realm of comfort. It didn't seem like it was harmful to anybody. So I just kind of rolled with it.
It's very interesting because a lot of times, I like to think of myself as a businessman, as long as you're getting paid for it, as long as it's not something that's totally out of your comfort zone, who the hell cares? You know what I mean? It's their money. They're paying for it. So, if you can make money by drawing some of this stuff that people are interested in.
See, people need to rekindle the sense of like community responsibility. You know what I mean? Like maybe we don't need to put more of this kind of stuff out into the world so other kids don't find their fetishes, quote unquote.
Right.
I mean, I guess everybody, like, this is like the equivalent of like when you were 12 or 13 or when I was 12 or 13 and we found like a fucking porno and we're like, oh yeah, like, certain sexual acts are very enticing now because it's been imprinted on your brain, like a certain still image or a certain behavior or a certain move or something like that. For these kids are on fucking Tumblr watching furry porn and VORE.
Yeah.
So their brains are just being wired to be degenerate.
They're going to associate different like visual stimuli to like be able to get off, and it's going to, who knows how it's going to fuck them up like further on their development, right?
Well,
so,
I mean, I'm sure like everybody, like I'm sure anybody that's ever watched pornography or anybody like, if you're a guy, like we all understand the concept of escalation with porno. And how like you start pretty vanilla, by the end of it you're watching like 50 dude gangbangs or something like that. So what is the escalation when it comes to VORE porn? Like what would be the escalation of that? Like how do you fulfill those fantasies? because you can't actually ever do that. I mean, there is, you can't often do much of the things you see in porno either, but there's a chance. There's a chance he's going to find the right lady, guys. Don't worry. They're out there.
Every Jill, there's a Jack. You got it.
But there's at least a chance of like the fulfillment of a fantasy. This is completely cerebral. But I can't imagine that it stays that way. Like in the same way that like, I guess, some people have like online avatars of furries, and then 2 years later they're making fursuits and fursonas and they're going to conventions. That's another form of escalation.
I want to see an interview where somebody's like, when did you know you got into VORE? Like, well, it was when I was reading the Bible, and and then Jonah got swallowed by the whale, and I was just like, wow.
That was it for me.
Then I just got hooked.
And then I saw that movie Pinocchio. And
man, kept
just
it going.
off the chain.
Escalated.
There is actually a YouTube channel that it's like I think VORE in media, where they take like stuff from horror movies and stuff where people are being eaten, and they retcon it to be like a VORE thing. Oh yeah.
In why not, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I've actually been asked by people that are a little more conservative about what they're interested in, why I agree to draw certain things for certain people, because some of it might be uncomfortable for others to see. And I kind of use this analogy with just about everyone because it makes the most sense to me. If you walk into a restaurant and you want to order ketchup on your ice cream, the person is going to sell you the ketchup on your ice cream. But that doesn't mean they have to sit down and eat it with you.
That is very true. That's I should go to a restaurant and try that.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. Yeah. That's a perfect analogy. You know what I mean? Hagbert says, quote unquote, I like money.
No, exactly. One aspect is just dumping some ketchup on ice cream and giving it to go. The other aspect is you spending hours writing whatever your format, your medium is, to create this stuff. It's coming out of your mind. It's becoming a part of you. You are exerting something out of yourself to fulfill a request for that. So it's not just
it's not a food preference. It's not the same.
Oh my God. They can't even be honest with themselves, man.
Well, that's what you find so often, is that they're just not honest with themselves, where the answer is like clearly staring everyone in the face except for them.
Record that.
It makes a lot of sense, Maybe they're not feeling like cooking a cheeseburger today, but cheeseburger's on the menu, you know what I mean? So you got to make it, you know what I mean? That's just how it goes sometimes. What was your reaction the first time you saw VORE?
I was sort of just fascinated by it because I was like, oh my God, like why is this person eating this other person? It sort of just like sparked the interest in me,
Can you pinpoint the aha moment when you looked and you finally thought, I like VORE. Yeah, I'm into it. When was that moment?
I was looking up references on Google Images for wolf teeth or wolf jaws so that I could reference it for an art piece. And there was a GIF of VORE. It was just a simple colored GIF of this wolf character voring a smaller character.
And then I thought to myself, well, this is interesting.
Let's keep going.
I was just looking for reference pieces, and before you know it, I was cranking it.
And I looked at that and I was like, wow, that just looks nice. That looks comfortable. I was like, okay.
It certainly looks like something. I don't know if I would say comfortable, but in your own words, can you describe to me what VORE is?
To me, the definition of VORE amounts to the act of consuming or being consumed by another creature or object.
That sounds about right to me. So you said you're not into hard VORE, is that correct? It's soft VORE?
Right, soft VORE.
And the difference with hard VORE and soft VORE is in hard VORE, someone is digested and like dies. But in soft VORE, that doesn't happen?
Nope. That's exactly right.
Is there any type of VORE where...
So that's like watching porn without the money shot. That's like Skinamax, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll get the job done in a pinch, but ain't nobody blasting. Hagrid says, sploosh.
Like they chomp you up like with their teeth as you go into their mouth, like how you would eat chicken, or like asparagus.
Yes, that would also fall into the hard VORE category, but sometimes they chew, sometimes they don't. Yeah, I'm not into that at all.
See, I didn't know that there was a difference, that there was two different types of VORE until the last person I interviewed about this who...
You know what movie they must love, Paul?
What's that?
Dragonheart. Remember that scene? Remember that scene with the Quaid guy? And he's like just sitting in the mouth and he's got the sword. He loved that scene.
Never Ending Story. Oh, he's like growling, like, ah, they're thinking, like,
Yeah.
oh, if I could just hop up in those chompers. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Falcor.
Fuck.
Who explained that as well. It blew my freaking mind, man. In your own personal thoughts, why do you think that people are interested in VORE? What do you think is the purpose behind it, or the reasoning behind it, or is there no reasoning and it just is what it is? What do you think?
I think it varies depending on the person, and everybody has their own reasons for why they like what they like. But from what
Yeah, I understand you keep saying that. That's interesting. Brissinger says, okay. VORE whilst the animal is spewing a load.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if the person was being eaten and they were blasting at the same time, that's a new level, Brissinger. I think you should fucking call somebody. Brissinger says, double the sexuality. Fucking luck dragon.
What I've experienced in my time of working with furries on commissions for this subject, I find that there's two different sides of it, and one side being the predatory and one side being the prey, and that each have very similar mentalities that makes one appeal to them over the other. Some like being helpless and out of control because they have to be in control all the time, and some feel out of control all the time and want to feel like they're in power. That's my personal take on it anyway.
So that could be similar to, like, you know, how a lot of people will buy like a fursuit because they...
No, that's very similar to
BDSM.
Yeah, BDSM. Doms and subs. It's the same. It's like a soft entry into that kind of paradigm.
Yeah.
That kind of proclivity.
They feel like it's hard for them to socialize normally, but some people say that when they put on the suit, it kind of almost changes how they act, and they're able to act like how they wish that they could act. Do you think that that's kind of similar with VORE, these two different sides, these roles that you can't really play in real life? Do you think that some people, it's the same thing where they want to fulfill these roles, but they don't know how to do it in real life? I mean, obviously you can't eat someone, but you have the dominating role and like almost the sub role.
You can't eat somebody whole. You can't eat somebody whole.
That's exactly right. Thank you for the clarification, because that's true.
Mhm.
You totally could eat somebody.
Oh,
If only you had the will, you know? Or you were a German guy with access to Craigslist.
It's kind of similar to that in a way.
Absolutely. I do think that a lot of it comes down to, in very broad strokes, exactly what you've just described. It's hard to say exactly how people come across enjoying this, because how many people go online and see something being eaten and they just know, right? I think a lot of it comes down to how you're exposed to it.
That is true. I know the first time I was exposed to it, I was like, "What? This is a thing that exists?" Kind of like what you said. Your reaction was the first time. I still don't.
No, this guy just immediately started coming. I can tell you that right now.
Uh,
Trami says, Paul speaks from experience. Yes, Paul has eaten several people. All those Army Hammer stories, they're like,
that's another
crazy.
Yeah, that's another nightcap. That's another nightcap episode.
The cannibalism nightcap, where Paul will reveal all.
I'll get
I
it
will
myself,
talk stories
but, you
about
know,
a friend of mine.
A friend of mine, a friend of Pablo Danger.
There's a lot of things that a lot of people like that not everyone understands, and I like a lot of things that a lot of people don't understand. So it's just it's one of those things. It's just fascinating to me.
Right, like it offers a sense of anonymity to the experience where you don't have to be you for a little while.
In your own words, can you describe what VORE is?
It, to me, would be the alive consumption of another living being, like swallowing somebody whole, whether they be the same size as you or a micro person, or whether you're just very large, just eating somebody without hurting them, without killing them.
Unless it's hard VORE.
Unless it's hard VORE, yes.
So a lot of people, they would say...
I don't even know what to say. Brissinger says, I'm sure this has to do with the film Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah, it ruined a lot of us. Suddenly we were thinking about, like, what if we were eaten by a bug? What if we were eaten by our dad?
And a
what
bowl
if
of Cheerios?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The ultimate VORE video. Being eaten by your dad.
Look, because it's so many different categories in the one.
So many different layers of thought, you know. Where does
Peterson?
Jordan Peterson would probably have a few words to say about that, you know?
Yeah. I think you would. I think you'd have
it's
a
like, oh, you're going into
program
your
to get
father's
out of that.
You're going into your father's stomach to try to save him. You're like an antacid. You Gotta save his legacy.
that they're into it because it's warm or it's comfortable. It feels safe to be inside of an esophagus or stomach or whatever. They feel it's like a hug, but you're being hugged by the inside of someone's body. Would you agree with any of that, or do you just literally have no idea why you like it and it just is what it is?
I understand like when people are like,
Prophet says, remember, kids, when they tell you that homeschool kids will be socially awkward, this is what they mean by well-adjusted. Trami says, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids originated as Stuart Gordon's VORE fic. It makes a lot of sense. Ooh, yeah. Especially, was that From Beyond? People
yeah,
eating
I'm
each other?
more because it's like seems comfortable and safe. I would agree with that, but mainly I just don't know why I'm into it.
Hell yeah. What do you think it's like for these people? They have, an interest that they're unable to perform in real life. You can't just go up to someone and eat them. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess you could, but no one does that. Well, I mean, some people do that, but it's something that you cannot do in real life. Do you think that the reason that there's so much VORE art out there, it seems like as a percentage, it seems like very few people in the grand scheme of things are actually interested in this, but it seems like there's so much artwork out there. Do you think that's because this is the only way that these people can express their interests because there's no way to do it in real life?
I think that the stigma and the taboo of it, the forbidden behavior kind of aspect, is a big part of it to some people. This is something they
like most of the other
cannot
shit
do.
you are probably commissioned to fucking draw. These people all suck, man. You got another one?
What are you talking about? It's only halfway through.
You know where this is going. There's no big reveal here. Like 15 minutes
There's
in, he's asking them questions that he should have asked from the beginning. What do you
Well,
think?
no,
Like
I think,
10 more minutes later, we're going to get some like deep. Like,
well, we'll skip ahead. But like, I agree with you. Like, it doesn't even matter the questions he's asking. They're just giving the same answers over and over again. Like they're not expounding upon, they're not getting any deeper or more interesting. They're just saying the same things over and over again. How many times does this person say, like, well, everybody's different. Everybody has a different reason. Like this person has said this like 5 different ways already. Brissinger says, smoke them if you got them.
I wish.
Some people do that. What the fuck? Yeah. It's a scary world out there.
In real life, but they get to live out that fantasy and enjoy that getting away with something feeling by doing it in role play or artwork.
So it started with teeth and stuff like that, and then it transformed into VORE. What about VORE? And there may be no answer. It just may be as simple as I like it and I can't explain why. But some people say that it's like comfortable to be inside of an esophagus, or like it's cozy, it's warm. Some people like the.
Brissinger says, fucking Little Red Riding Hood.
Yes.
It all started.
The dominating
Jonah and the whale.
Eating.
All goes back to the Bible. Always
goes back to the Bible. You want to find a fetish? Oh, it's there, buddy.
It's in there, buddy.
Someone, or the submissive factor of being eaten. What do you have? Is there anything you can pinpoint it on?
I enjoy the dominating factor of eating and the submit. I mean, it's a both for me.
So you're like bisexual, but
it's a double kink. They like to eat and be eaten. Just not
so like
violently.
the fish eating the fish, like where you see happen in so many different formats, right? Like that's it. That's the climax. That's prime. That's prime VORE.
Trami says, my fetish is my wife turning to salt. Hasn't happened yet. You know, Trami, I'm not even kidding you. I'm not even shitting you. I was going to make the same joke. Brissinger says, Daniel in the lion's den. There you go.
Yeah,
there's always a bigger fish.
Mm-hmm.
Just VORE is everywhere, everybody. Just accept it.
but with VORE.
Yeah, a switch. There's one thing I could mention that may help people kind of understand why people are into this kind of thing. We all grew up, most of us, I hope, grew up watching cartoons from, it could be probably not from Disney, but things like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. You could name any cartoon and there's probably been VORE in it. Not sexual, obviously, but there's VORE. And we grow up as kids watching.
You guys just assign it this title of VORE. Like, it was not supposed to be a fetish or a kink. Like, it wasn't designed to, it was designed to be like a dramatic situation for a mouse to be eaten and then have to try to get out. It was not like a kinky fetish thing.
Right. And by definition, the VORE is, being consumed or consuming someone that you are sexually attracted to. That is what VORE is.
Yeah.
At
So
least that definition we looked up here too. So the freaking
Yeah.
tried to drag
Well, then
Tom
you
and
get-
Jerry down in this muddy hellhole of the internet. No,
like
will not
they
stand.
get sexual
Yes.
gratification, some type of gratification from that process. And and this is something you see all the time. Like we're like, well, everybody actually more people are into this than you think. They just don't know.
Yeah,
They just don't know. They grew up watching this stuff. We're the same.
Well,
the
you
same.
don't know. You don't know what you don't know. You know.
And this idiot over here saying like, well, maybe not Disney. That's because you're 19. It's called Pinocchio. Okay, the greatest VORE film ever made. Hagbert says, I remember no VORE on G.I. Joe. That's right, because that shit's based. Hagbert says, fuck. There is that episode where Shipwreck gets turned into a killer whale and eats a seal. God damn it. They got us there too. Fuck. They're everywhere. It's been happening all around us all the time.
But he didn't eat the seal whole. Well,
I'm gonna go. I'm sure after this episode, I'm gonna go take my son's his fire tablet and smash it into a rock.
There'll be a great purge after this episode. My almost 13-year-old. I'm going to go scour through everything. Like, what is this? Naruto? Let me see this Naruto. Do they eat people in this? Huh? They eat people in this Naruto?
I hope you call it Naruto when you talk to him.
He corrects me every time I say it. So
yeah. Trami says Futurama has VORE when Lur eats people. That's true. Hagbert says that's real, by the way. That episode of G.I. Joe, that's a real episode, and now it's been ruined forever.
Watching this kind of thing, and you associate these cartoons with something positive, with something that makes you laugh or something that makes you happy or gives you an escape. Sometimes you would see this VORE thing as a gag and it would make you laugh, it would make you happy, and you start to, your brain starts to associate it with something that's more sensual and more.
No, young man. That is not what happens, okay? You got into weird DeviantArt Tumblr communities where they sexualized it for you and you saw it. It is not because like, well, over time, you watch enough of this stuff, you just start to get off to it.
Mm-hmm.
No. Brissinger says, I bet some lady would buy an anaconda hoping to be eaten. Oh, I'm sure that's a real thing. Yeah. Ladies, fellas.
They are. We saw something a while ago with ladies like really into like snake fetishes with these bow constructors and just like, yeah. Well, but you know what? My snake fetish all happened from dusk till dawn with Salma Hayek, man. With that freaking.
That's true. Yeah.
Then I was hooked. Then I could never get off unless that lady had a snake.
There was a couple movies that did that. Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, has like a stripper with a snake.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think it's it's not meant to be VORE. It's meant to be like the sense of danger. Like it's erotic because it's dangerous. Like the implication of danger of the snake attacking you.
Or, it brings you more comfort as you grow up, and it kind of mixes in with your fetishes.
That's very interesting. I grew up watching those cartoons also, but I'm not into VORE. But I will say, furries are pretty sexy, though. I will say, you know what I mean?
That's why a lot of people
Yeah, so he's just on the cusp. He's on the cusp of being degenerate. It's like, well, do I jerk off to anthropomorphic animals sometimes? Maybe. You like guys like Robin Hood? You ever see Robin Hood? That's a great movie.
Go to minute 20. Go to minute 25. Let's see if he does a wrap up. If there's a great conclusion.
Paul's like, he's like, get me out of here. You're on NIGHTCAP, baby.
Oh, I know I'm on NIGHTCAP, but you have other things.
Travis says, just a guess that's like a biblical reference, man. Brissinger says, well, not as a gag. No, not really. Nobody is gagging. Then Brissinger says, dry humping is sexy. Hey, if we're gonna talk about furries dry humping, let's use the proper terminology. It's called yiffing. The yiff.
Yeah.
The yiff. I hope they got underwear on.
You see, that's how we're not taking a piss at the community because we respect the terms and we go great lengths defining these terms and understanding them and using them correctly. So that's
right. All right, we'll see. You want to skip out a little bit?
Yeah. Paul's
dying too. He's like, oh my god. All right, we're gonna go to minute 23. So it's 6 minutes ahead.
It's the compromise.
We could play Mario Kart inside of someone's stomach. Do you think that would be fun?
Yeah, kind of.
I think that would be awesome. Is people requesting VORE artwork? Is that just completely out of left field and totally unrelated to what you normally do?
No,
Oh
I'd
wow,
say it
Sean!
matches pretty
It's
well
as
right
if we
into
didn't
it.
fast forward 10 fucking minutes. Oh, interesting. Oh, crazy.
I know, it's like we're right where we were.
Oh man.
Trami says, unlike Community, which takes a piss in the ball pit. Brissinger says, you got an astronaut piss bag under that costume? You better. If you're a furry, you gotta come. You gotta. Actually, they probably just wear diapers. They're probably also into diaper play. They're like,
Oh,
I just like the
geez.
way it squishes. I just like the way it squishes. You know, when I was a kid and I had a wet diaper, and then my mom would always change me, and it made me feel safe and secure, like somebody cared about me.
I feel safe. I feel safe.
I feel safe. It feels so safe here. It feels so comfy, so cozy.
Because it falls into the same charge spectrum as any other illustration I would do. And it gives me a lot of really cool experience and practice with different aspects of anatomy and different camera angles, for instance.
Definitely lots of interesting camera angles to be had with VORE, I could tell you that much. After being into VORE for so long and being involved in the VORE community, have you learned anything that most people probably don't know about VORE?
I learned that the VORE community isn't as a lot of people are like, oh my god, the VORE community is so weird, like they're complete freaks, stuff like that. It's not true. The VORE community is full of a lot of wonderful people. As somebody who
No, that's just because you only hang out with people that are into VORE, so you don't understand the difference. Brissinger says, Big Paul, oh shit, let's go, Brandon.
who's been in the VORE community for very long.
Do you have something? I know you have a thing somewhere.
Okay.
You've been called out. You've been caught. You've been caught. You've been caught in 720p.
And you really shouldn't be ashamed to say that you're into VORE. And people are surprisingly more accepting than others would think. A lot of more people are into it than you would think.
So, if you go...
See, there it is again. Oh, a lot more people do this than you would imagine. Well, that doesn't bring me comfort. That terrifies me. You know, I could be over there looking for Pop-Tarts, and for all I know, the person next to me in the grocery store, what if they're into VORE? I'm going to have to start asking people in public. Like, you into VORE? What are you doing over here?
Yeah.
What are you doing over here?
Yeah. Did you watch cartoons growing up?
Yeah.
Did you know that you're deeply closeted VORE? Mm.
We all are, really. It's just about opportunity. It's about access, you know?
Well, it's about, just like anything in life, it's about self-actualization. Like, you're trying to get there. You're trying to get, peak status, peak mental status, awareness of oneself. And you don't get that until you explore everything on here. You don't get that until you come on the NIGHTCAP.
That's true. Brissinger says, the 7 levels of VORE. What are the rules of VORE? Is it like karate? Yeah, you get different belts, different types of extremes, you know? Some people don't like to be digested, Brissinger, and we got to respect that, got to respect it. He said, sweep the leg. No mercy. That's what those snake ladies were doing for sure. No mercy.
No mercy.
Just heartless snake women.
They were cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded. Good one. I like it. Trauma says, it's what they all say to feel less lonely and freakish. I mean, that's the harsh reality. That is the hard. Yeah. Nobody wants to feel like they're alone. Nobody wants to feel like they're on an island, even though they have a community of people that's all very supportive and they're all into the same things. They have this demand that everybody think of it as normal. Everybody rationalize it the same way they do and don't think anything different of them because they're just another person with a different interest. And we see that a lot. That's what a lot of communities are doing right now. It's not about it's not enough for them to find their niche, to find their communities. No. They need to get inside your brain, your mind, and demand that you accept it as reality and accept it as normal.
There you go. Another layer of control in this
Can't do it. Can't do it. Kings don't do it. Chads don't do it. I don't do it.
Go inside of someone's stomach in your VORE. Can you swim in their stomach acid like it's a swimming pool and have a great little time? Take some laps.
In most of the art that it's portrayed in, the stomach acid just doesn't do anything, or for some reason just isn't there in the stomach. But if we're talking about realistically, you'd probably just get slowly digested. If we're being honest, it might hurt a little bit.
Some people are into that.
Yeah, some people are into the death part. I think they see it as a super kind of intimate closeness thing, though.
super intimate closeness.
This is one of the 19-year-olds, right? Yeah, I think they
Yes,
see it as
yeah.
super intimate. Like, oh man.
Well, that's what I was reading. I was reading earlier today that a lot of them have this perspective about it being like this type of like this closeness to somebody, and that they don't have to actually like physically engage in a sexual way, like because they don't want to like acknowledge that part of themselves. It's like this very weird psycho drama that goes on in their heads. Trami, I think he brings up a good point here. He says, but they don't want to be normal, really. It would encroach on their unique identity. Well, here's the thing, though. They don't want it to be normal, but they want to tell you that they want it to be normal so that they are perpetually a victim. So if you don't automatically just, like most people that are confronted with VORE are going to be like, well, that's strange. That's weird. So that gives them a victim complex. It makes them feel like they're oppressed. And so they will always go back to this well constantly. You just don't accept me. You don't understand me, et cetera, et cetera. And we see that a lot. Prophet says cookies per minute, bro. That's all I'm saying. I don't even know what that means. Oh, no, I do know what that means. Jesus, damn. Jesus. Travi says, correct, sir. Schrodinger's cringe, says Hagbird.
You become part of who ate you.
Exactly.
You are what you eat. See, I'm from Kansas. I ate a lot of corn, so I'm like 12% corn.
Right.
That was a pretty corny joke. Why isn't there a VORE convention? Should we start one?
I am not I don't like going to conventions, so I wouldn't go, but why not, I guess, because you can meet.
Oh, they're there. They're there. Some of those furries, they're like, come back to my hotel party, and there's just fucking VORE on the TV. They get their laptop hooked up. Oh, Big Paul comes in with a Ninja Genie. He's part of the show. And he's also...
It's for the replay. We're going to make this happen. We're going to make this happen. You know how we're going to make it happen? Because I put a fucking Ninja
Genie throwing down the Ninja Genie gauntlet. Brissinger says, addicted to being a victim. Yes. I mean, that's what I think you find with a lot of these niche communities.
Meet so many people,
or they're addicted to being the predator.
So
it goes both ways in this VORE world. If
people who are into VORE could meet other people.
Trami just hit us with a diamond. He said, swallow me, daddy. Swallow me, daddy. Well, with that little ninja, I think I could probably get it done. I mean, this is transactional, right? Like, it's not about like whatever. It's just like, hey, this is what he wants. He paid the money. I mean, who am I to say? Who am I to judge?
Right.
Who am I to judge? Brissinger says, okay. So is being buried alive VORE? The worms eating us. Ooh, that might be like 8th level VORE. Really going all the way down to the bottom of it. I'm sure there's somebody that just like fantasizes about eating worms.
Don't like having to go like all throughout the internet, different servers.
Trauma says it's just like ketchup on ice cream.
Stuff like that. It would just be a nice, like, first impression type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But it would be a good idea.
Have you heard of the VORE Cafe in Japan?
No.
Would you like to go there?
Maybe.
There's a VORE Cafe in Japan. What? I don't know many details. I think you like go inside of a fake whale and you like pretend that you're inside of it. I don't know. It's weird. It's strange. I want to go there one day though.
I mean, I don't want to sound cruel, but of course it's in Japan.
Oh yeah, if there was a place for something like this, it would be Japan for sure, 1000%. They keep it tight, like in the way they present themselves, their efficiencies, their effectivenesses. But they're freaks, man. I mean, you're up there buying used panties out of vending machines. Like you're doing all sorts of stuff over in Japan. Can't wait to go someday. Can't wait to go.
For the experience, sure. That sounds kind of fun.
You know how Japan is. They make everything 10 times more cursed than it needs to be.
I'm actually Japanese.
I take that back. That was racist of me. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize. No, I agree with you.
Do you think that the VORE community is misunderstood by the general public? Kind of like how the furry community is misunderstood by the general public. Do you think there's something like that going on here?
Yeah.
How so?
I've heard like such like horrible.
See, I'm curious, but what are the general misconceptions of being a VORist? Tarami says, Paul, we were all thinking it anyways. And then Brissinger says, eaten by an octopus. Yeah, over in Japan land.
things about it.
You've heard horrible things?
No, but like I've heard like such like bad things being said about the community. Like a bunch of people have said that we're pedos, that we're into necrophilia, which is literally not true. Like I don't know how those rumors even started, but somehow they did. And I understand why. Like a normal average person wouldn't be really into VORE because it's considered weird. So, but yeah, I do believe that the community is misunderstood a lot because like VORE isn't like a normal thing to be into, and there's a lot of horrible things that have been said about it.
Yeah, no, it's dumb. It's a lot of people on the internet. They like to label all these things in such crazy ways. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Label all these things in such crazy ways. People are getting off to watching anthropomorphic animals eat each other and then shit each other or digest each other or whatever. People get too crazy with these labels. They just want to, like, you know, come on now. Prophet says, I'm Japanese, quote unquote, citation fucking needed. And Brissinger says, let's go, Brandon. Definite pedos.
That's the way it is, and it shouldn't be that way.
Same with furries. Like a lot of them are just very misunderstood when furries are very much good people. And the fursuits are so pretty, you know? And like that's what the main thing people hate on to what I've seen is the fursuits. And there's nothing wrong with them. They take a lot of time, a lot of money. Furries are just good people in general. And they saw a few bad furries and they're like, oh my god, the whole community is horrible people. Well, it's not true.
Yep, I agree. Do you think that the general public has a misunderstanding of VORE, much like they have a misunderstanding of the fur?
What is there to misunderstand?
Right.
What it is, guys. Like, what is there to misunderstand? I'm struggling with how this could be misrepresented somehow.
Right.
Community and what that's about.
I think so. I think VORE is harmless. I think it's weird for sure. Nobody can deny that. It's weird. That's just a fact. It's not harmful. Just like feet, the whole feet fetish, it's not harmful. Any other kinks that people are into that don't hurt anybody isn't harmful. It's just something people get into and they can't help that.
They definitely get into it. They crawl inside of those mouths, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, quite literally into it.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I do really appreciate it.
No problem. And thank you for interviewing me.
Absolutely. It's been a very big help. Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining me today to talk about VORE. I appreciate it.
Oh, that's it. I'm done. All right, we're done with the interviews. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with you, fella.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm done with you. I'm done with
So
you.
what did we learn? What did we learn from this VORE documentary? Which is very misleading, by the way, because that was not a documentary. That was not a documentary. That was a terrible interview with 3 people.
Yeah, because it just didn't get into anything to any degree that was interesting. And then they just repeated themselves over and over again for 30 minutes, which I don't know. I mean, I guess would I expect introspection out of, when you're talking to 19, 20-year-olds? I don't know. Probably not.
No.
Probably not. Trami says, Paul is reading the label on the bottle, hoping it will say it's immediately lethal. He's looking for a way out.
What? That's good too. No, I just picked this up tonight for a 10-year. So just specialize my under $50 bottles. So I don't know how I feel about it. I'm like my second glass into this whole nightcap.
Yeah, how is it? Is it good?
It's a Scotch whiskey. I guess 10 years aged in cherry oak, which I'm not a big fan of. It's got a weird smell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are you into VORE now?
Not too happy.
Because of it? Are you into VORE now?
No, I think if I had something like a Lophoric or Talasker, like I'd probably be like more into it because I'd be associating it with something good. And I'd be like,
you'd be drunk enough to be like, this sounds fine. That sounds fun. In fact, honestly, I gotta go. I gotta go.
No, I gotta spank one right now. Yeah, because usually like with Scotch, like you should buy a second glass. It doesn't matter if it was your preference or not, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Down like my second glass now, I'm just sitting there like, oh man, this is
still not sitting well.
It's going to be on the shelf for a little bit. It's going to be on the
shelf for a
little
boy.
bit.
Hagbert said, I learned that putting ketchup on my ice cream is considered odd. Trami says, I think we've gone deeper into the psychological aspects of it here than that documentary did. No, I agree with you. I think we did.
True.
Yeah, we talked a little bit more than they actually did about it. Brissinger says, we learned a lady that speaks English is Japanese. Scotty VORE.
Scotty VORE.
All right. So you guys, let's do a more intimate one. Why furries like VORE? This is a VTuber. Do you know what a VTuber is, Paul?
I don't. What's a VTuber?
Okay, it's like a YouTuber, but they only have like a virtual persona.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't.
So like the
they don't-
people we just watched earlier, that he was
kind. Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
interviewing?
kind of. Yeah. I mean, that was that guy's skullduggery. That was his doing. He just was like, "Oh, I need something here."
Right.
So let's see what. This is a dragon. It's a
Oh.
dragon. Why furries like VORE?
Found a shiny. Oh, that looks really cool, dude. I like it. What? Today we're here to talk about VORE. I'm here with Valak, a very, very good friend of mine who has experience with it like me. And first,
Has experience with it like me. Valak. I like it. Tarami says, "What's a YouTube?" Never heard of it. Never heard of it. In fact, I suggest that you all get off the platform for what they've done.
off, we are going to explain what is VORE exactly. VORE is a kink, very, very common within the furry fandom. We have the joke pause versus moz, and for the record, it's moz for me. Yes, that is right.
So okay, this person's confirming this is a common thing in the furry community.
Yeah.
See, with every video, Paul, we get a new little bits of information, a new layer.
Yes, we do.
So when you see these people on TLC, or you see them on some sort of cable show, some cable documentary, you're like, no. These people are freaks. I don't care what they're saying. They're into VORE.
Yeah. Not even Dr. Phil can make them out.
Not even Dr. Phil could save these people. Not even.
I do have it, but we'll get into that more later. VORE very specifically basically means getting nommed. You usually have two parties. There's the nommer, which is the predator, and there's the one being nommed, which is the prey. The predator noms the prey. This exists in nature. No surprise. That's very common, but there exists the kink where the prey and the predator actually enjoy this on a deeper level. And that is what we're here to talk about today. Anything you would like to say on that?
I'll be talking on behalf of the predator, and Drake here will be talking as the prey. Obviously, he likes being yumsies.
No, not Yumsy. Okay, fine. Maybe a little bit sometimes. But how does
This
that
is a
work
thing we
exactly?
do.
Why?
This is just a thing we do.
It's just a couple
You know,
young
you know.
gay dudes living their truth.
Oh God.
Look at this.
I just now
Behind them,
noticed
giant
that they're
mouth.
in a mouth right there. I just now noticed they're behind like a mouth. They're
It's
about
subtle,
to be numb.
subtle layers.
Yeah.
Layers.
Yeah.
But it's working on me subconsciously. I'm already into what they're selling.
Why would that be possible? Because at the end of the day, numbing is
Possible.
Yeah.
I'm.
Hey, it was
Dude,
a
I
bad
did a joke
delivery.
like
It was a
that guy.
bad delivery. It was
I
better
just did a
delivery
joke
than
like
the
that
last
guy.
man.
I did a joke just like that guy. I'm trying to keep verisimilitude. I'm trying to keep the reality flowing.
a dangerous thing. When the predator numbs a prey, that's death. That's fatal. That's bad. So why would anybody want to be numbed? We're going to talk about that in a lot of detail. But before we get to that, we first need to explain that we're not professionals. We're not judging anything. I'm just telling you this from my personal perspective because, yes, I do have the kink. And Valak here will be giving it from his perspective.
Sounds like he has a terminal disease. Like, yes, I
have the kink.
I have the kink. I've been infected.
Do you have the kink?
I used to be a bug chaser, and then I got the
You
bug.
will never understand unless if you have the kink. If you don't have the kink, don't even talk to me, bro. You don't get it.
Come on.
You
I
don't
can give
get
it
it.
to you. Do you want the gift? Do you want the
God.
gift, son?
You want it
as well
You
with
want
his knowledge, which I do appreciate. Let's talk about what exactly does VORE mean to me on the surface. Well, initially, when I first discovered it when I was way younger, just like with how a lot of kinks are discovered for a lot of people, it's
They say there
Here we go. Another trend. We found
This
out
is
when we were
definitely.
really little.
I would say this person is probably 19 or 20. Because when you refer to yourself as when I was very younger, you talk like that. When you have that kind of voice, that means like you're 19 or 20 and you're talking about when you were 14.
usually in cartoons, TV shows, movies, where just for a moment, just for a flicker, a tiny little scene, something happens that's related to the kink. In this case, one character numbs another, and it's usually maybe for comedic effect. To most people, they'll just be like, oh, haha, you know, say like a Tom and Jerry moment where like some numb happens, but then he like escapes. But then maybe to someone else, like me, we perceive that in an entirely different way, where it affects us on a deeper level, and then we start wondering, why did I really enjoy that? Why?
No, I reject this. I reject this explanation. I do not
Yeah.
believe that this is where this starts for these people. I don't buy it.
No.
It's fucking it's Tumblr communities. It's probably where it actually most of it comes from. I hate to say Tumblr as
Or
the
what
end
you
all
were
be
saying,
all.
like the deviant art or whatever the fuck it was. They were
Deviant
mentioning earlier.
art, something like that. There's
But-
no way in hell.
Yeah,
this
but it's
person
all
was a
it's all
child.
retro. It's all like retrospective. They're going to do this, and when they try to like rationalize and justify, like
Yeah.
why they're here and they're kinks, like, well, if you think about it, everything we watched leading up to now as a child informed this subconsciously, right? So it's just it's a trap. I'm right there with you. It's not
It's not
sincere.
real. It's fake. It's fake. Tarami says, stop saying nom. I bet you he won't. I bet you he doesn't.
Why am I feeling this way about that? That's so weird. Because like with a lot of kinks, I mean, it's just you can't easily understand them. It's not like we chose to have it; they just kind of exist.
Tarami
And
doesn't
I'm
have
sure
the
that's
kink.
same way for a lot.
He does
Well, it's not
have the
that you
kink.
chose to have it, but it was like it was engendered in you by something. And I do not believe for a second that you like were able to contextualize something as sexual like that when you were 6 years old. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it.
No.
Sorry. Dr. Sean says no. Travis says it's like saying gays are born gay. Well, I don't know. I mean, apparently, you know, there's been some research recently that would suggest otherwise, but I don't know. I'll say that. I'm going to say I don't know. Hagbert says VORE is thug life. Thug life.
A lot of people for a lot of different kinks. For me, I remember very specifically, it was a Naruto episode where there was like a giant snake. Naruto gets numbed by one, and he eventually escaped.
Did you hear that, Paul?
No.
Did you hear that?
No.
You
Naruto.
thought-
Yeah.
He's watching an episode of
Naruto.
Naruto.
Already blocking it out. He's so into it, man. I just bought him hoodies with that shit.
Well, hey,
Fucking
listen,
guy on that.
Naruto's fine. It's fine if your son's not developing some sort of latent weird fetish from it, you know. But Naruto is fine. Charmy says, I would also agree that stories like, yeah, when I was 5 are almost exclusively bullshit. Yeah, unless it's like something like I was abused, unless it gets really dark. Sharabi says it's just a bias to want to recognize certain memories as more significant than other memories. Hagbert says Klaatu, Verata, Niktu.
That's me trying to say it. And every time I say it, my son's like, Dad, no, Dad.
It's Naruto, not Naruto. What's wrong with you?
There's an A in there, buddy. Wow, we're going to get
Klaatu,
the Naruto, buddy.
Verata.
But I remember it because that scene was kind of in depth, and like they showed the insides and stuff. I was like, dang, this is kind of interesting me on a level that I can't really explain. It's very bizarre. So I started to do more digging and research, and I realized, yeah, there's definitely something there. I definitely do enjoy this on a deeper level, but why? What does it mean? Why do I want this? I mean, isn't it destructive? Isn't it really, really strange that I feel this way?
And it's true, it's very destructive, but there's a lot of different types of war. The kind we enjoy, mostly enjoy, is soft war with consent. No devouring, everything comes out all right. There's many types of war, for example, hard war, where there's chewing involved, usually involving in death. There's digestion, there's unwilling, there's even some where the prey doesn't even know it's about to get devoured or eaten. We prefer to...
Which we saw some of those videos earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the real stuff. We saw the hardcore stuff. These guys are soft VORs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why even do it at that point?
stay with the safe kind, the one where nothing happens, and that's what we're going to be talking about. We have little to no experience with the other ones.
Exactly, because that's
I like that it's like probably like this is like a 19-year-old guy talking to like a 37-year-old. It's like talking to somebody our age. Like this is the mentor.
Yeah,
you know, so many people, so many young men in life looking for mentors.
Mm-hmm.
He found this guy online. He found this dude online.
Yep.
Where's your father? Where's your father, Dragon?
Really what I enjoy on a deeper level, the more soft, no chewing, intimate, harmless kind. That's what personally is interesting to me. The most harmful kinds, no, that's not really something that I personally enjoy. Again, not judging those who do. I'm just telling you based on my personal experiences what it means to me. So
Not
There's always
judging if
something
you
like-
literally want to destroy somebody else. Not judging, that's not, if you
They
got the
always
kink,
do
I
that.
get it, but like
They always say that, like, well, it's not for me. Who am I to judge? Who am I to? It's okay to judge. We're allowed to have values.
yeah.
We're allowed to have a moral compass, and we're allowed to suggest to say, like, hey, you're outside of my moral compass. You're outside of my value system. I look at that as a negative thing. It's a
Mhm.
perfectly acceptable human thing to engage with. But people like this are
Someone call it,
cowards.
like, I
They're
don't know, a
cowards.
goddamn boundary. Yeah.
Some may say that, especially if you were in the
yeah, I mean,
community.
they have an avatar. They're using an avatar to express themselves and whatnot. But whatever.
Has this crossed your
Jura,
boundary, Paul?
10-year. Jura, 10-year.
Has this
Maybe,
crossed your
maybe.
boundary?
Maybe. No, not my boundary. Just my nerves. I think.
Paul's just like,
I'm trying to be a good
Paul's like, I'm an
spirit. I'm trying to
adult
be a good
man
spirit.
with a real life and a real job and a family, and I'm down in my basement watching VORE videos with fucking Sean.
No,
That's what
not
Paul's
even
thinking right now.
not even VORE videos. People talking about VORE videos, and we're
Well,
talking about people talking about VORE videos. This is my life.
Prophet says even Christian Weston Chandler had the self-respect and dignity to not become a furry. That's Chris Chan, everybody. So Brissinger says I'd almost prefer to talk to a man dressed like a giant dick.
Well,
yeah, if he just came up to you, it's like in a giant cock. He's like, listen, this is just what I'm into. I like to dress like a giant cock, and I like to fucking hit people with my purple mushroom head. and then he has just a mouthfuls of Greek yogurt that he spits at people. Just normal, everyday, cool, fun guy stuff. Listen, it's not my kink, but who am I to judge?
who am I to judge?
Yeah.
that is why it starts to get a little bit deeper, because I really only enjoy the softer side. But I didn't really figure that out right away. And a lot of times when I did research online, then I started to see various artworks that were posted and some descriptions that were saying like, oh, like come be a sacrifice, be one with me, be a part of me or something. And that's like, I would always feel conflicted because it's like, it's kind of playing off that same kink, but it's like, do I realize what this is basically saying? Like come in and basically die, sacrifice yourself to be part of me. It's like, that's starting to feel self-destructive. I don't really want to think that way. Once again, I know some people are into it that way, and I'm not knocking it. I'm telling you my own personal experience. But
So he's recognizing like, well, that might be kind of weird, might be kind of self-destructive. It may lead to further aberrant behaviors. But again, who am I to judge? I see we have some people. We have a few people watching over on Odyssey. If you're watching on Odyssey, please give us a follow. Maybe like the stream. I'd appreciate it. I don't mind a lurker. I love the lurkers. I have been a lurker most of my life. I am a lurker on live streams. But if you give us a follow, give us a like, we'd appreciate it. Because we're trying to build up the Odyssey channel. We're trying to get off of YouTube. Brissinger says, does Spider-Man have something to do with this?
Maybe.
Spider-Man? Maybe. Maybe with his organic web shooters, the Sam Raimi era. Yeah. What else is he shooting webs out of? That's all I'm saying.
it really scared me because I thought this interest of mine, this kink, it's starting to seem self-destructive. So for that reason, I really tried to fight it. I fought it tooth and nail. I really tried to get it out of my system. It was in a period of my life where I was really trying to fight a lot of negativity. Instead, I was really trying to be positive. And I just felt like this was destructive and harmful and just making me fall into a ditch in despair that I'm basically just nothing more than food. And that's very degrading and harmful. But eventually, I met some friends. I chatted with them and they kind of convinced me to discuss it and give it a try again. Because they were caring friends and they showed me that, you know what, it doesn't really have to be that way. It can actually be really, really intimate. Like I said,
So he had this impulse, this natural impulse to be like, no, you know, maybe this isn't great. Maybe I should try to get away from this stuff. It's not healthy. It's not proactive. And then the other furries, other people in the VORE community were like, well, hold on a second. But if you really thought about, you know, man, like who can say, you know, who can say what is
just keep pressing on. Just keep pressing on. That's just negativity. Just push it away. Don't judge. It's a kink. You have the kink. You said you had the kink. You're not a liar, are you? Just keep progressing. Keep going.
Just keep going. I mean, this is part of who you are. Okay. This is part of who you are. Brissinger says it literally looks like Barney. It does kind of look like a Barney character. You're right. Maybe Riff. I've been reacquainted with Barney because my son's 4 and he's just found Barney. So Barney's been around. We've been singing the song. Trauma says, I learned anal VORE is the thing.
No.
That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me.
Citation needed.
Paul's like, just for
research later. For research.
Yeah, for research later.
For research. Not for my masturbatorium. No, it's for research.
That guy just sat on that dragon and made it disappear.
That's, well, yeah.
Holy
That's
goodness.
Impressive. That's impressive.
Goodness gracious.
Really only into the soft, harmless, the kind where, yeah, they swallow you whole, spit you back out. It's harmless, it's safe. And then it's like, okay, well, why are you even doing that? Like, what's the point? Well, because what VORE is ultimately boils down to, at least the kind that I'm into, it's about trust. It's about safety, protection, internal squishy huggles. Yeah, I get it. You'd be like, ew, gross, but like, it's a kink, okay? There's foot fetish. You can be like, ew, feet. I mean, it exists.
Why do they always go to this foot fetish thing? Because they think that's like the weirdest thing. That like a normie might be into like a body part or a foot fetish. No, the difference is you're just into a body part of a person. You're not fucking like talking about being eaten by a fucking animal. I'm sorry, but they're different things. I'm not, a foot fetishist myself.
Well, it's like the ketchup on the ice cream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. Yeah. Trami says, I will fucking link a video, Paul. Don't test me.
Oh, fuck it. Do it, Tarami. Do it.
Well, Tarami, if it's not pornographic, go ahead. If it's not pornographic, I mean, if it's like one of the weird like CGI videos we've been watching, probably be okay. But if it's like explicitly pornographic, then no.
I'm just telling you how it feels to us.
Brissinger he really hit the nail on the head. The difference is you don't get pussy and you're jealous. I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, even Quentin Tarantino with his foot fetish, he's getting laid.
How we perceive it. It's not just some kind of ew, oh, whoa, woo, numb me, daddy, whatever. There's something on a deeper level.
Like these people are not wealthy enough to have these kinks. That's what I'm saying. They're not wealthy enough. Like they don't have enough money. Oh my God! Big Paul comes in with another Ninja Guinea. Says, "Do it, Tarami. Nom nom nom." We may have to shut off the YouTube stream when we do that. Hey, if the YouTube stream goes down, you can find us on DLive and Odyssey.
It boils down to trust, and that
it comes right back.
He says it's porn. Yeah, it's a Pornhub video.
It just feels really, really good to be able to trust someone enough that I'm willing to risk my
life.
That's something think of it kind of almost like some kind of an exercise or a ritual in a way where like it's a demonstration that I trust someone enough that I'm willing to put my life on the line, relinquish control to them for something that is so incredibly precious to me, like my own survival, just so that I can prove to them that I really do trust them and I could just let go and let them have the control and keep me close, warm, protected, and internally snuggled. And you can cringe.
Yeah, but it's not really happening.
No.
So it doesn't matter. Like this is not real. You're not actually being comforted or protected or anything. Like it's not. No. There's nothing about this that is
it's
real.
About as real as their online persona and this avatar, right? And so
they've invested they put a lot.
They put a lot of stake into that, and they associate a lot with it. And it's just, well, in a sense, it is very real to them. Real that we know because we haven't spent years developing this association with this, like this fucking metaverse, this fucking intangible thing that's so tangible, like in their minds, right? If that makes any sense. I've been in some nightcaps here, but I kind of see like where he's come from, like where he gets that security just all in there, but he's just so detached from reality.
That's just so like delusional. It's just fucking it's delusional on a different plane than most people that have fetishes are delusional.
Mm-hmm.
Like this takes it to this other place. I don't know. All right.
cringe all you want, but the fact of the matter is that's how it feels to us. And from the perspective of a pred, how does it feel to you?
From the perspective of Predator, it feels like I am being trusted. I have the life of a very little frail being in my hands that I do not want to hurt. I want to protect it. I want to keep it happy. I want to hug it, cuddle it. I want to take care of it. I know there's predators who truly enjoy devouring and gaining more weight, everything like that, but that's not what I am into personally. Imagine it like hugs from inside a stomach.
It feels very, very intimate that way. You know, just the same.
Yeah, if you imagine it as something completely ridiculous and fake and people hugging you from inside your stomach, then it is very intimate. It is very intimate. It's very warm. It's very welcoming. Prophet says, Sean, you know what button I want to press? Hold on.
Whoa, what the fuck?
And the
There
other
you go,
one.
buddy.
Just kidding. I'm sorry. I had the other screen that little nugget Tarami dropped us. Oh my god.
Oh, did you are you watching it?
No, yeah, I just like fast forwarded. I think like you'd be safe if you went in on. No, you won't be safe at all. I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, we could.
No, like if you went to like minute 121, right? Like you'll see like a little bit of boobies, but it'll be fine. Be fine.
I mean, if I have to kill the YouTube,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I don't know how. Hold on. All right, I'm going to work in the background a little bit.
No, I got it. I got it right there.
This is just how people with the king show
No,
their appreciation.
No, I gotta figure out how to shut off the YouTube stream. Because I'm multi-streaming. I don't know how to do it.
I got you.
For each other. It's a kink, you know. It's kind of hard to understand if you don't have it, but if you have it, you get it. And to those who do have it and don't understand it, I hope this is helping you, because some of you might be experiencing this the same way I do, and you maybe just don't understand it. And the fact of the matter is, there is a very wholesome and positive way to view it. That's something I struggled with for a long time, but when I met good friends that were able to give this other perspective to me, I realized, you know what, it's not all that bad. It's actually really a sign of trust. But then it makes me wonder, okay, well, everybody wants to be able to trust someone. Why